Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Welcome to episode number 863 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from Red Morton Park here in Redwood City, California, where I live. This is day 11 of the GNA membership drive. GNA is short for Genuine Networking Association, an organization I founded back in 2011. And what we do nowadays is we focus on personal development and self improvement, which is something that everyone needs, whether they realize it or not. And typically, myself included, people don't realize this initially, and people will fight it, and people will say it's a scam. Personal development is a scam, and no one really needs it. This is stuff that you should be able to figure out on your own. Well, how do you learn things if no one ever teaches them to you? I mean, your parents are supposed to teach you as much as possible. But sometimes, no matter how hard your parents try, or how good your parents are, no matter how hard they try or how good they are, in teaching you life's principles, no one's perfect. And, you're not going to understand things when you're younger as much as you'll begin to understand things when you get older. What's going on, dude? How are you, man? It's great to see you here. Joey Grotesque Subhuman. Now, I'm out in the dark right now because I made a boo-boo. I forgot that last night we set our clocks ahead. The problem is nowadays we have digital clocks that are connected to the internet, and they automatically adjust for daylight savings time and standard time. So daylight savings time ended last night. I don't see people if they're not. If you're walking in the dark, you got to have a flashlight on you. And most people don't. You can't see people without light. Good to see you too, Eli. I was sick this weekend, but feeling a little better. I like the current topic you're doing. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. It's a very important topic. Do politics define a person? I'm going to share my opinions and my thoughts, and some people may agree, some may disagree. Hey, it is what it is. I'm pretty neutral, though. I'm a pretty neutral person. So I'm going to be very fair with what I say. But yeah, I forgot about, the clocks, moving forward ahead. Spring forward, fall back, right? Actually, let's fall back, spring forward. We set the clocks back an hour. I screwed that up. Where's my head? We set the clocks back 1 hour. We fall back. You see where my mind is at? But I think you all knew what I meant, right? Or is it forward? I'm screwing up my head here. God. Oh man, I'm losing my marbles here. I'm sorry, folks. I've got a lot on my mind. I think you know what I mean. We lost an hour of daylight, and we lost an hour. So we spring forward. The clock is forward. So we lost an hour of daylight, an hour of sleep last night. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back live. We're back live. Okay, I got to correct myself before some very miserable people on the internet that just don't like me will correct me. We fall back. So we basically gained an hour of sleep last night. We lost an hour of sunlight. So basically, yesterday, had I come out this same time, it would have been an hour later, and it would have been like 6 p.m. So, what's going on, Channel? How are you? I don't really feel the need to talk about that guy, but you're here with one of the stock accounts, and I know you've been on the right side of things. Doing great, thank you, sir. Have you ever considered changing your channel name, or will you always be Anti-Legion Channel? Because honestly, the truth of the matter is, the more stock accounts are created, it just fuels that guy. Hey Tia, how are you doing? It just fuels him to continue his really childish shit that he does out here on YouTube. Until the day that creep is gone, we will stay. Well, he's like one of those flies that keeps buzzing in your ear, and every time you try to swat it, it barely just gets away. It slips away every time, right? One of those nagging flies that buzzes in your ears. That's all that guy is, right? And that's cool. I really don't care. If I need to mention something about him every now and then, the guy has made me his life purpose. The guy has made me his primary content. Like the guy, correct me if I'm wrong, Anti-Legion. Now that you're here, I will respect you and address you. You're part of the audience, and it's all good, And I want to be respectful because you've been respectful. Good to see you, Joey Sharp and Anti-Legion, says Tia. Even Tia's like, you know what? Fuck it, let him stay because he's on the right side of things. How you doing, Tia? I screwed it up. Like, if you watch the replay of the show, I screwed it up. It's fall back. We gained an hour of sleep last night, but we lost an hour of sunlight. So I didn't realize that because I've got so much going on, and Dawn and I have been working on a lot of things at home in preparation for this week. And when I was setting up my stream, I checked to see, the sunset time, and it said like 5:05, and I'm like, wait a minute, it was just like 6:06 yesterday. I'm like, oh shit, daylight savings time is over, and I forgot. It ended November 3rd. Which is today, which happens at 2 a.m. on the day. Was funny when he told well, yeah, I'm not really interested in talking about that, Anti-Legion. I'm not really interested in talking about that guy in depth. I really just don't want to make my shows about him. But I get it. But today we're talking about, do politics define a person? Right? And let me share my thoughts about do politics define a person, because we're basically two days away from the presidential election. And wow, I got to say, this is going to be probably the most watched presidential election in history. The amount of drama that Donald Trump always creates. He's a great drama shit disturber, in my opinion. No disrespect to Trump supporters intended. And the fact that Kamala Harris is a former prosecutor, and just like everything that's happened, like I haven't talked about politics this time around. I chose to just stay out of it. I chose to focus on other things. But now we're 2 days out, and so now it's time to really, share some thoughts about this, and really try to get people to understand that, in my opinion, politics do define you as a person. What doesn't define you is your political party preference. Let me explain to you folks. In my opinion, we all choose a party, right? If we want to, right? Most of us do, right? Like, I'm a registered Democrat. Some of you are registered Republicans. Some of you are independents, right? Etc., right? But in my opinion, whatever you're registered or whatever party that you choose, in my opinion, does not define who you are as a person. What I feel defines you as the person you are is your attitude and is your thoughts and ideas. And a lot of that derives from politics. I've never voted. Why not? This may be the best time to start, bro. I mean, why would you not use one of the most important rights that you have as a U.S. citizen? I mean, it's up to you. I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying, dude, you should really consider voting. Just Amanda, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Let me know if this cuts out. I'm in the bad reception area, but I think we're going to be okay. Hey, just Amanda says Tia. So, do politics define you? Yes, I think they do. But your political party choice does not define the politics you choose to believe. Now, if you are on the left or on the right, there are some, predefined aspects of all parties, right? But every human being has their own thoughts and opinions on things. And every human being has things they believe in and things that they don't. And that's despite your political party choice. But your thoughts about politics in general, in my opinion, define a lot of your character and the type of person you are. And how you either stay calm, cool, calm, and collected, or react or overreact to certain political things says a lot about your personality and your character as well, in my opinion. And I've seen many people severely overreact when it comes to politics. Primarily, I've seen the far right overreact. I'm not talking about the right the general right or the general left, the slight left or the slight right. I'm talking about the far right extremists, and the same thing with the far left extremists. They're no better than the far right. You see, my whole thing is extremism, one way or the other, is just not good for anyone, right? It's not good for anyone. And typically extremists, from what I've noticed, have serious psychological issues, mental, emotional issues. They're just really, really messed up people in the head, right? So how can we value what, and this is with no disrespect, how can we value what mentally ill people are saying? We really can't, right? All we can do is say, hey, people like that should really seriously consider getting help. Oh, by the way, Adventure AZ Dana, because I know you're probably, you say you don't watch me, but I'm sure you do, and you hear when I talk about you. Listen, I don't hate you, Dana. I actually care about everyone's well-being, despite what you're saying, or despite your purpose on YouTube, which you're not saying. You go to work, just come home, and really don't go out because it's better off for you to just be at home and not get in trouble, right? Whatever, right? Your choice. And you come out on YouTube, and you have a little fun every now and then, right? It's basically, Dana, you're using YouTube as an outlet, which to a certain extent is okay, but I think at the level some people use it, including you, can be very toxic. And I think you're using YouTube in a very toxic way, but whatever, right? You put out a posting, and you said that, you don't want to pay for therapy because you don't want to spend the money on therapy because it's too expensive. Well, you have a job and you have insurance, Dana, and you can get therapy as part of your insurance for around $10 to $25 a session. My girlfriend Dawn, right now, that's not working because we're trying to figure out if she's going to be able to work again or not, or if she's going to be written off to disability. We're trying to figure that out, and we're not going to know for several months ahead. We're doing more testing, and she's doing better, but we don't know what's going to happen with her seizures. Plus, she's got issues with her eyesight. She has a therapist that she meets once per week, even by phone. And it only costs her $15 copay each month. And her max out-of-pocket on her plan is $3,000 a year. So, are you saying, Dana, that you don't have insurance? Because if you're working for someone, typically they'll give you insurance. And if you don't have insurance through your employer, why would you not have insurance through the Affordable Health Care Act, which is actually a good thing, despite what some other people may say about the Affordable Health Care Act? Okay? Why would you deprive yourself of something that even you feel you need because you say you can't afford it or it costs too much money? So instead, you're going to sell yourself short and deprive yourself. And then you're going to come out here on YouTube as your form of therapy, like many people do. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just saying it's really sad. And then I'm not surprised that people like you, will always attack people like me, because what better things do you have to do? You're at home. Same thing with that James dude. He's at home in his parents' house. He's at home in his parents' house making cartoons of me, or, morphing my images and stuff like that, and making videos of me on sock accounts. And that's normal, right? That's your form of therapy, right? And that you all want to criticize me as having issues. I've got health insurance, so does Dawn. And you know what? I've been to therapy in the past, and Dawn's still in therapy. It's made a world of difference, right? I just felt like throwing that in because it just makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder why some people live their lives the way they live their lives when they have better options. You're just choosing to not use those options, right? It's your choice, right? We all need to vote, says Auntie. Thank you, Amanda. Hope you are doing good. Voting is so important, says Amanda. We are very fortunate. Hi, Tia. Hope you are well. Tia says, Amanda says, Tia, as long as we take it one day at a time, we will make it through this crazy world. There are many therapists who will charge a sliding scale based on your income. Well, that's true, Amanda, but insurance will cover, most insurance plans will cover therapy as long as you pay your copay. And most copays are like anywhere from $5 to $25. Dawn's copay is $15 per month. She's at her max out of pocket, so we're not paying shit for her insurance till the end of the year. Besides the monthly, the monthly amount that she pays to cover California, which is well under $100. But I mean, is it not worth even if at your level of income, even if you have to buy insurance through the Affordable Health Care Act and you're paying $200-300 a month plus the copay, if you don't have insurance for emergencies in your health at your age, and you're like, what, 52, Dana? You're a couple years older than me, right? I don't know what to tell you. Like, seriously, these people want to come. These people want to come and bash me for having my ducks in a row, right? And then they want to criticize me for sharing a home with Dawn and my mother that we equally all pay for. When these people, most of them are living at home too, and they're living rent free, but they won't go public on that because many reasons, they don't want to admit that, or number two, they don't want to admit where they're at because maybe other people are trying to serve them with lawsuits, so they want to avoid service. Oh, man. I'm having a little fun tonight, folks. Please don't mind me. Every now and then, you got to have a little fun, okay? I take things seriously, but you got to have fun and keep it real at the same time, right? No fake instigated drama here. That doesn't exist over here, right? Once again tonight, another super chat goal. If we get a minimum of 5 super chats at $5 a piece, minimum, they can be greater, but each super chat needs to be a minimum of $5. We get a total of 5 super chats at $5 or greater. Don and I will be broadcasting live on the couch on election night. And you know what? If no one donates, that's okay too. Hey, it is what it is. And some people, like Mr. the Real Legion dude, wants to keep on taking screenshots, right? And putting out content, calling me a failure on his stock accounts and then saying it's not him. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. In due time, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Goes around, comes around, right? Tia says, right, Amanda, that's all we really can do. The world has changed so much. It's really kind of sad. I'm glad I grew up what I did. Yeah, same here, Tia. Same here. second. I'm gonna pass by here. It was interesting. That dude that was parked there on the street. He had a car with new paper plates like we have now in California. We get paper plates when you buy a new car from the dealership with your actual license number until your actual license is made. He saw me coming with the camera and he goes and walks right in front of his license plate and blocks it. Like, dude, my camera's on my face, not on your car. And what are you trying to hide anyway? What am I going to do with your license plate, dude? You think there are just random people on the internet that don't even know who you are or care what you're doing? You're just some innocent bystander on the street. He literally walked right in front of his license plate when he saw me coming. Man. Maybe he has a body in his trunk. Yeah, maybe. You never know, just Amanda. You never know. You never know. Typically walking the streets of Redwood City, we don't, where it's a pretty safe area, at least most parts, including this part, but LOL, Amanda says Tia. One more lap, folks, one more lap. Just 2 laps tonight. Tomorrow, I've really got to start getting out early now because the sun's going to be setting right about 5 o'clock every day for a while. And then we start gaining a minute of sunlight every day. So it's going to take about 2 months until the sun starts going down at around 6 p.m. and then another month to get to 7 p.m. and another month to 8 p.m., right? Until we hit summer and all that, right? Or it's a couple months because it's a minute a day approximately, so a couple months per hour of sunlight gain going the other way. So this is the time of year where I got to manage my time more because I have less daylight. Now the sun comes out sooner. I could walk earlier in the morning, but I'm still sleeping during that time typically. But your political views, I feel, do define you. Not your political party. Your political views, your actual views. And over the last 6.5 years, my experiences out here on YouTube, I've met a lot of different people. I met a lot of good people, but I've met a lot of very vile and extremist type of people, right? Like, let me give you an example. 2 of the closest friends that, Don and I have out here on YouTube is Sandra and Tia. Don and I are both slight left liberals, and Tia and Sandra are both slight right conservatives. And we all get along. And, we're all respectful to each other. And if we disagree on stuff every now and then, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And that's because Sandra and Tia are very reasonable people, and so is Don and I. Or so is Don and I. Tonight I'm losing my verbiage. It's all right. It's all good. I think the time change has thrown me off. Forgive me, But I came across a lot of very, very radical and far right extremist fake conservatives. Right? Now, I've also come across some far left extremists, which are typically the radical feminists that are the far leftists, right? The far right is typically a bunch of, older men in like their 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond. Some of them even in their late 30s have started to fall in the far right extremist trap. Like that millennial dude, the Legion dude, he used to be, I believe, a liberal. And now being on here on YouTube, he's realized that if he's a far right, if he pretends to be a far right extremist and a Trump supporter, he'll get a bigger audience of donations for creating hate content, right? I've noticed a lot of people that were once liberals, when they came out here on YouTube and realized how much more valuable from a donation and profitability standpoint it was to at least pretend to be conservative, they all switched, right? Like there's a creator by the name of Tim Pool. Some of you probably know him. He runs the show Timcast, and he's got a pretty big following. He gets like 50,000 people on his live streams. And I think he's in his late 30s now. He's a millennial. He used to be a liberal like 8-9 years ago. And then he switched to being a conservative. And he tries to justify it as, I just don't like how the far left is trying to stop our freedom of speech. No, the far left is not trying to stop your freedom of speech. The reason why you switch to being a fake conservative, Tim Pool, is because it's more profitable to you, because, no disrespect intended, a lot of even the good conservatives are very vulnerable and they're easy to manipulate and sway into getting donations. Now, I'm not saying that about you, Tia, or anything like that. I have a lot of respect for you. But even the people that are being taken advantage of by these fake conservatives, and they're also disrespecting your political party, which I'm on your side for regarding that, right? I just don't like anyone being manipulated and played, right? A lot of people will prey on the vulnerabilities of people's, beliefs and political party choices and all that, just to let's just use the word extract money from their pocketbooks, right? We don't want to use the other word because it's true. I don't care, fuck it. It's extort money from you. Right, that's what it is. So you're like, well, you'll be walking around 4-ish. At the very latest, it's going to have to be 4. Or even 3:45 or 3:30, because I typically do an hour and a half walks, and the sun is setting now at about 5 p.m. So, but what I'm going to try to do, Tia, is get out on my walks around 2 p.m. Pacific, which is, I think, 4 your time and 5 Eastern. I'm going to try to get on my walks by 5 Eastern. Great question. Thank you for asking. Eli, what are Pedro Santiago's political beliefs? I think he's a Trump supporter. I think Pedro Santiago lives in St. Louis, Missouri. I believe St. Louis, Missouri is a highly conservative town. It's a blue-collar town. A lot of, hard-working conservatives out there. And listen, I'm not trying to criticize blue-collar workers. It's just, it is what it is, right? You see, Pedro's the kind of guy This is the problem with YouTube, like I just said, and I'm telling you folks the truth here, unlike anyone else will tell you. I've experienced this for years. Pedro's the kind of guy that would pretend to be conservative because he sees conservatives as easy suckers to extract or extort money from. In my opinion, that is, right? Let me be clear, in my opinion, right? So that way, all of YouTube doesn't sue me for slander for saying, in my opinion, this, I feel that, this is just wrong. All of YouTube wants to sue Eli for using the word extortion, right? Or for standing up for himself against mentally ill people that are abusing his intellectual property every day. Oh, so Pedro might be a shill. Oh, Pedro's 100. Come on, dude. Pedro's 100%. Do you know what Pedro's doing right now? Woolworth was hidden by Tia. What did they say, Tia, out of curiosity? Let me know what they said. I'm just curious. Let me see what kind of trolling technique they used. Woolworth. Remember the store Woolworths? That's a pretty good store. It was kind of like remember Long's Drugs? Long's Drugs and Woolworths. Those were the places to go before CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens were created. Well, Walgreens was around, but CVS and Rite Aid came out after Walgreens. But it used to be Woolworths, and it used to be like Long's Drugs and stuff like that. It is okay to do the night walks. I think you might have more viewership if you do the late walks. Well, I could do shows in the studio at night. The thing is, dude, I'm trying to end my content by a certain time and spend more time with my lady and then go to bed early with my lady. Look, Dawn would be fine if I wanted to do a show. She wouldn't even get mad if I wanted to do a show every night, and then get to bed at midnight. If she goes to bed at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and I go to bed at midnight or 1 a.m., she wouldn't be upset about it. But I don't want to do that to her, and I don't want to do that to myself. And respectfully, bro, I appreciate what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to balance things out a lot better than I used to, because I used to really get sucked into the YouTube thing. I used to really feel the need to do certain shows at a certain time and respond to people. And here's the problem. Like, when you're dealing with drama stuff has a short shelf life. And sometimes if you're responding to real life drama content out here on YouTube, let's say from one of the biggest drama W's, you know what a drama W is, I can't say that W word. One of the biggest drama W's, James. That stuff has a short shelf life, right? And sometimes, he says something and the first person to respond to it is going to get the traction, and then everyone else is just going to be repeating the same thing, right? So, I used to feel the need to just, I found this out, I figured it out, I got to go live right now and share the scoop and the damning evidence or the breaking news before someone else does. I used to feel the need to do that, bro. I don't feel that need anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll still do some breaking news stuff every now and then. I just don't feel the need to drop everything every time something like that happens. You got to eventually learn, because I've learned to be able to control my YouTube presence, not let YouTube control me. You gotta learn to be in control on YouTube, not let YouTube control you, right? And maybe that's another topic we can do another time. I always think of topics while I'm in the middle of a show. I'm always brainstorming, right? Rite Aid had the best ice cream. Well, Rite Aid's ice cream was made by Thrifty. You're talking about Thrifty, right? You're talking about Thrifty ice cream. What the circle, the deep circle ice cream, scooper, right? And you can get the triple. You used to be able to get 3 scoops for like under $3. Not anymore. Yeah, Thrifty. Yep, we had a Thrifty. We had a Thrifty, and basically Thrifty, I believe, sold it to Rite Aid, and then they kept the ice cream brand because the Thrifty ice cream brand was almost as good as like 31 flavors, like Baskin Robbins. I know what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, they have that little, the scooper. It's a circle scoop, right? It's a deep circle scoop, and you can get up to 3 scoops of the circle ice cream. When I was younger, I would go there with my mom, my brother, and I would I want 3 scoops of this shit. I didn't say shit back then because that you get punished by mama, But I used to always go there. I'd get like 3 scoops. Like mint chip was my favorite. They had really good mint chip. They had good vanilla. They had good everything. They still do. They kept it around. It's award-winning Thrifty ice cream. Now owned, like you said, I believe by Rite Aid. Yeah. Yeah, everyone was wondering what's going to happen to the ice cream when Thrifty goes. No, they kept it. Fantastic. Now, the problem is when you go to those stores sometimes, it's hard getting someone to work the ice cream section. Sometimes you got to sit around and wait for like 10 or 20 minutes. They usually don't have somebody dedicated to the ice cream section. Especially nowadays when companies are cutting down on payroll. They're trying to get more out of every employee and be more profitable, so they have less staff there. And so they're running around running multiple departments. So there's no dedicated ice cream scoopers. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, bro. That brings back some memories, dude. Thrifty ice cream. Award-winning Thrifty ice cream. Yeah. It's fantastic. LOL, that's what I'm eating right now. Mint chocolate chip. Oh, that's the Thrifty mint chocolate chip is good shit, dude. I'm telling you. It's good stuff. I like Thrifty's mint chip better than any other mint chip, including Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. Because their chips were like chopped thinly and perfectly. And they're like crunchy, but not overly crunchy. Mint chip, man, that's good ice cream, man. Dawn and I, Dawn's been doing great. We're not going to spill the beans, but she's been gaining some weight and she's doing fantastic. And I've been buying her as snacks. What happened, Woolworth? You were banned by Tia. What did Woolworth say that got him banned? I'm curious. Did Tia mention that? Bidenomics Harris, it will thrive. I shouldn't have hit him. I was looking at the fact I'm a Trump supporter. I'll unblock them. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Tia. I mean, I'll let both sides talk, and I understand that. I understand that. I don't really want to get into a debate or argument over, the campaign, right, or over the presidency. But there are people here I care about that are opposite party, like Tia and Sandra and Queen Helen Casey. And so, I mean, You shouldn't block Harris supporters. It's not a good look. Well, I didn't block you. One of my mods blocked you by mistake. We apologize for that, sir. And you're here on a sock account, so we don't even know who you are. So, I mean, my apologies for that. We apologize. You know, regardless of what happens, I just hope our country thrives in 2025 and beyond. You know, we all have our reasons why we're voting who we're voting for. I've mentioned mine in the past, you know. And, yeah, I mean, if Don and I end up doing a show on Tuesday night, live election coverage from the couch, I'm going to share more of my thoughts at that point. But, you know, I'm really just trying to be a little more neutral. Or at least, if I have strong opinions about opposite parties that could offend people that I care about, you know, I want to try to be, you know, reasonable and respectful. When most other people just don't give a shit. They just want to run their mouths because they'll focus on one side of the audience and not everyone. I focus on everyone. I love everyone. I can't believe the spot price of gold right now. What's going on, Eli? Why is gold so much right now and silver is back up to $33 an ounce? I have not paid attention to it, but I don't know. You know, typically scarcity creates value. Coach Corey Wayne says that. Basically, when the supply is less and the demand is more, the price goes up. So, could be supply and demand. If you got a bunch of it and, you know, the demand is high and the supply is low, that could be it. I don't know. I don't know. I could look into that and share some thoughts tomorrow. I didn't block you because you're a Harris supporter. I thought somebody was being sarcastic because we get so many trolls. Yeah, no problem, Tia. Yes, it's okay. Yeah. No worries. Thank you, Tia. No worries about that. I love this part of the park. They've got really bright LED lights. I believe on the other side of the park, they're not LEDs yet. They're incandescents, and they're going to be changing them because you can't even buy incandescent lights anymore. In California, they've been outlawed. And yeah, I mean, LEDs are so much more efficient. They're 90% more efficient. They cost 1/10 to operate. They last longer, and they're way brighter. They have more lumens. Like I read, like the average incandescent light bulb has about 450 lumens, while the average LED bulb has anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 lumens. I mean, look, you could see this part of the park. Like it's dark, but it is like honestly, you could probably play football here or baseball or whatever. Like, look at how bright this is. Now, if they can get lights like this all over the park, they could keep the park open safely till like 9 o'clock at night. If they put lights all around the park, I mean, that'd be fantastic. And they're probably going to get to that. Like, when this park is done, and they're bringing the YMCA here. I thought that was going to be like a Olympic-sized swimming pool. They may still be putting an Olympic-sized swimming pool there. And who knows, the YMCA here now in Redwood City, moving to Red Morton Park, might host some Olympic events down the road. If they did, man, it would be It would be insanity getting around Redwood City. Oh my God, if the Olympics came out here, like the Summer Olympics. But Redwood City's been really, like, they've been very, very liberal, which not technically a bad thing. They've let 4 cannabis shops come in to San Mateo County, and they're the only city in San Mateo County that has any cannabis shops. The other cities won't allow them to come in yet. So Redwood City has let 4 of them come in. And I'm like, more power to you. That everyone from San Mateo County can come to Redwood City, buy their cannabis here legally, and Redwood City gets the tax dollars. They get part of it. I believe the state gets part of it. And more so, what does that do? It gets people to come out to Redwood City and possibly eat lunch or spend more money here. So now they're building up Red Morton Park. I'm really proud of this city because they are investing in the future. I'm proud to have been, I was born at Stanford Hospital, but, I was raised in Redwood City, from the day I was born. When I came out of the hospital, my family's always lived in Redwood City. This is my hometown. No harm, no foul. That's cool, Woolworth, man. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, look, we all make mistakes. And, yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens on Tuesday. Most of the polls right now, legitimate polls, have Harris ahead. I've seen, like, the weird thing, and this is with no disrespect to Republicans, the weird thing is, many Republicans that were supporting Trump have switched to supporting Harris. And there've just been some really weird things that Trump and, some of the people on his team have said publicly during, speeches and rallies and stuff. And I don't know. It just, I'm not trying to be rude, Tia, or anyone, but it's almost kind of like these people are trying to get attention. Like Trump and the other people on his team are trying to get attention in the same way like Jamie tries to get attention on YouTube. It's a similar thing. I almost feel like Trump is like trolling us, and his people are helping him troll us. No disrespect. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, it's a great way to get attention, but is it the right attention, right? Trump is trolling us. People are going to get on me for that. Oh, well, fuck it. I don't care. Well, you know what's going to happen to you? That millennial in Florida is going to make a video or something. Eli says Trump is trolling us. So here's Eli, and here's Trump with his troll hat scolding Eli or saying, Eli, I own your intellectual property or something. Like, you see how dumb this shit gets to you? It's okay. It's okay. I've got all that covered. I've got that covered, Tia. You saw my stream on the main channel the other day. But yes, I do feel our political views do define us at least somewhat, right? Because Tia says, oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Of course not. Of course not. Like, I honestly give that guy, number one, I give Jamie life, and I give that guy more ideas than he or anyone else on his team could ever come up with on their own, right? And I'm not saying that to, be all smug or anything, right? It's just the truth. Anything I say is memed, mocked, right? To have that amount of time and resources to devote your life to meme and mock every word that comes out of an innocent YouTuber's mouth that's just trying to help people is it behooves me, is what I'm trying to say. It behooves me, I really think people need to learn to be more understanding of people's feelings, wants, and needs, despite their political party choices or preferences or views. Joey Sharp, Eli, do you think that is why the people who have attacked you have said that your advice is a danger to others since you're against Trump? Absolutely. Well, these people are far right. They're not even real conservatives. Like Tia is a real conservative that I respect, and same with Sandra. These people are on the alt-right. They're not even a real political party, right? Trump, in my opinion, is on the alt-right. But there's no alt-right party to run, so he's got to run conservative. He can do that, right? That's just my opinion, right? But yeah, like these people are so living in the past, man. Here's the thing, I will agree that Adventure AZ Dana's been putting out some postings lately, right? And she's been putting out there and saying that Caucasian men cause the majority of the problems. It's not the African American men. And you want to know something, Dana? I actually agree with you on that. I don't care how much shit I get. You see, the problem is it's these old school hillbilly type or just very uneducated, Caucasian conservative extremist men that live in the Midwest and the South. The uneducated blue collar workers, and I'm not saying that to be rude. It's the truth. These people are uneducated and they're living in the past, and they're not open to progression at all. They're not open to progression at all. And we've progressed massively. The smartphones you guys have are a part of progression, right? So a lot of these people, they're not in their right mind. They're very angry and bitter people. A lot of these people, a lot of these men that are now in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, they went through divorce. Their wife divorced them and took half their assets because these men, because of the way these men are, right? Which has made these men even more angry and bitter, right? So then when they come across a guy like me that believes in relationships and believes in progression, to a certain extent, now don't get me wrong, certain things about progression or certain things of progression I don't agree with, but there's a lot of good to progression, right? And these people are anti that, right? These people want to live in the old school days. They want to live in the days of the Old Testament of the Bible, not the New Testament, or even beyond the Bible. They don't want to live in the new world. They don't want to live in a world that's, in my opinion, in many ways has changed for the better. Dana has problems with her behavior, and she also has bizarre beliefs about being a goddess, and I think that's very off-putting to Caucasian men. Well, it is off-putting to any man, bro. A woman's behavior is not just off-putting to a specific race. It's off-putting to everyone. I get what you're saying. But here's the thing. A lot of the conservative Caucasian extremist men, they overreact. A lot of the African American men, the black men, they're like the coolest people in the world. They're like, this is not fucking worth my time. I'm just going to ignore it and move on. You see, what's upsetting a lot of the Caucasian people is the fact that they don't like being called out on the truth And I've seen it myself. Like, I'm friends with many different ethnicities, and I will tell you this: the most difficult people I've had to deal with out here on YouTube has been middle-aged, conservative, extremist, Caucasian men. Bottom line, that is my experience. Ironically, it's Dana's same experience. And whether I agree with Dana on things or not, I don't hate anyone, including Dana. Regardless of what Dana says about me, calls me cuck, calls me fake life coach, calls me beta male, doesn't matter. Right? If I agree with something, regardless of what anyone says about me, I agree with it. I agree with Dana on this. One of the biggest problems we have, at least here in the U.S., is the angry and bitter, older, conservative, extremist Caucasian men. They're creating the majority of the problems because they just can't let go of the past and move on. They can't let go of the fact that the reason why their wives divorced them is because these men were very controlling and very old school, and they were trying to hold their wives back, and they expected their wives to just be barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen, and those days are gone. And some women still want to have kids, but they also want to have a career. They also want to, have the options and opportunities that men have had. And these guys are just not open to that. These guys want to continue to see women be slaves. Right? And listen, while I'm a man that doesn't fully agree with a lot of things that women are doing nowadays due to their freedom, I've learned to accept it because they should have the same rights that men have always had, right? And has it made life a little more challenging? Women having, having these rights? Yeah. I mean, it's made it way more challenging for men. But you got to learn to accept it and move on and understand that if you, as a man or a woman, in their shoes, you'd want the same things that they want, right? You got to put yourself in other people's shoes. Does that make sense? We're at 62 minutes. I got to go. I'll hopefully be walking much earlier tomorrow. Lots going on, but we'll fit it all in. I have lots of love for all of you. Tia, thank you for being here. Joey Sharp, Cortex Subhuman, thank you for being here. Woolworth, thank you for being here, and sorry about the mistake earlier. Amanda. Just Amanda, thank you so much for stopping by and being here as well. Anyone else watching on the replay, feel free to comment in the comment section. Please also like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. Also, once the replay finishes processing, folks, thanks, Eli. You're welcome, Joey. Once the replay finishes processing, typically it takes about 12 hours for the replays to process fully. You'll start to see the super thanks heart there. If you want to donate in the comments section, you just go below the description, go below the title and hit the thanks. And actually now, if you go and watch the live stream replay with the live chat view, on the bottom right, you'll see the super thanks heart, just like you would during a just like you would see the super chat on a live stream. So if you see that little heart there, that's a super thanks on the live stream replays, which are the pre-recorded videos, which it doesn't show up until about 12 hours after the live stream is done. You can watch the live stream replay right away, but it's not fully processed to show the super thanks. For about 12 hours. You can donate that way if you like, or go to the description and you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. With that being said, folks, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. Good night.